Minister, I want to welcome the publication of this bill, which puts the COVID-19 pandemic unemployment payment on a formal statutory footing. That should assist in providing a greater degree of certainty for the recipients of the payment. It also allows you to provide for urgent needs payments by way of supplementary welfare allowance. And this is particularly important because, as you know, under the supplementary welfare allowance scheme, the Department may make a single exceptional needs payment to help meet essential one-off expenditure which a person could not reasonably be expected to meet out of their weekly income. Every year from 2014 to the present, over 100,000 people have to avail of these payments. Perhaps, Minister, you might inform me what the allocation for this year's exceptional needs payments will be. Will there be a reduction in the overall allocation to meet the increased demand for the pandemic unemployment payment? And if so, by how much? This is important because it is usually those who are most financially insecure who need these payments in terms of unforeseen circumstances and in often a crisis that occurs. People also on invalidity pensions, disability allowance and carers allowance are finding it very, very difficult to survive in the current times. And I do feel like that what they get every week is just paltry, and it needs to be looked at in line with, the cost of living and everything else, just to allow them to survive. And I would appeal to you that in the forthcoming budget, something be done there in regard to those payments as well. I want to specifically acknowledge the amendment contained within Section 7 of the bill, which confirms that COVID-19 pandemic unemployment payment is an unemployment benefit based on PRSI available to self-employed contributors. That is incredibly important because we know that many self-employed people, especially in the arts, music and cultural space, have been hugely and negatively impacted during this crisis. They've found it very, very difficult to cope and indeed to survive, and it has been a very stressful time for them. And the events of the pandemic obviously were outside of their control, so they do need fair play. What I would say, Minister, is that while the letter of this bill is good as far as it goes, there is a genuine problem emerging in terms of how the spirit of social protection law is being applied. We've heard in recent days of those who travelled abroad without any idea by doing so they would face a penalty. And I know I dealt with a musician in Offaly who unfairly had the payment cut. He was attending a funeral that he had to attend. He didn't know about the rules, genuinely didn't, and he actually said to me, I wouldn't have gone to that funeral if I knew about the rules. But I do want to acknowledge the help from the previous Minister, Minister Doherty, in reinstating the payment, which was reinstated after 6 weeks. But I believe that communication and a change of attitude is needed, that there are genuine people, genuine circumstances, and that we have to be fair and flexible with people. And I do want to commend the department staff for their incredible work also. Gurmagat.